Okay, so what's up? My name is Boo, or my fam call me Boo. And I really just wanted to make this video for people who are lost, who are depressed, in all kind of pain, and they've tried to reach out to really, literally everybody, and it doesn't seem like anybody understands fully or really cares enough to try to help you. When you seem like you're all alone and you just can't seem to find um, that grasp on somebody that gives a darn. Um, what do you do? What do you do? I want to give you a bit of background of my life and to inform you that you're just not alone. I'm not just talking to be talking. I've been there, done that. We don't all have the best starts. You know, parents do the best that they can, but a lot of times they're working with a deficit themselves. Um, I'm now in my mid 40s, and when I was born to a 14-year-old woman who, although she was married, I mean, who gets married at 14, but my mother was. Um, but she needed some um, basic parenting that she actually never received. I mean, nothing against my aunts, but when you come from a dysfunctional family, all you can do is raise in your under your own roof another dysfunctional family because you just don't know. Um, so at 14, my mom was really just getting into being in the streets, getting that opportunity to make mistakes. But unfortunately, she was very few, fertile. So, babies kept coming and coming and coming. So, in the midst of those mistakes, you have other mouths to feed, and they are dependent upon you to make good decisions. But she had a bit of a determination to live her life her way, and that's fine. But in the midst of it, children suffered. Um, I, I blame my mom on some tips, but I've had time to forgive. Um, how to say it, a girl child ain't safe in a family of men. That's true. And even if they weren't even in your family, a girl child still ain't safe. So things happen. If you're not able to really keep a good constant eye on your children, there are predators all around you, people that you would not expect to be a predator. And that's going to, affect your child in a lot of ways that you would never have foresaw. Um, we all go through something, and some of us get stuck on it and can't get past it. And then some of us act as though it never happened. And if we act as though it never happened, we can go on and be successful in life. And, that was never me. But it's going to come back around. So either way it goes, you're going to have to deal with it. So anyway, as a background, I grew up in the projects. At that time, it was like, hurry up, get pregnant. I don't know if they were really doing that. No, some of them were on a constant level where you're thinking, I want to get pregnant so I can get my own place. But a lot of teenage girls were getting pregnant. Um, Not even in high school yet, ninth grade, 8th or ninth grade, and getting pregnant so that they could be able to get out there and get their own project home and say it's theirs. And then now I'm grown, I can do whatever I want to do. And it was a never ending cycle. Me and my friends used to call it the big belly disease. But it ended up, even though we had that little clique, I ended up being the only one left in the clique. Still am. I'm still the only one that doesn't have any children. Um, I pray for them because I know they had to deal with a lot more than what they addressed before they got pregnant. Um, it's just hard taking care of myself, so having to worry about taking care of others. Anyways, I grew up in the projects. I saw the basis of addiction all around me. A lot of the adults around me were either drinking, smoking, what have you. If it could be done, it was in the midst of it. Our house was the house where you go get your party on. And if that meant that, okay, the kids might need to be shipped off somewhere for overnight babysitter, then so be it. I'm not faulting my mom on getting her party or her swerve on. That was her right. Uh, I didn't want anybody to tell me I couldn't. In the midst of it, though, when we're trying, we're really just trying to get somebody to love us unconditionally. And in our search, we're adding more slices to our heart, because everything you're trying to find, whether it be in a guy or another woman, you're gonna be disappointed because they can't give you what you're looking for. They absolutely cannot. It's not their fault. Some of them even think that they can, but they just can't. It's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. But we all tried, and because we're still in the midst of trying it, we can't tell somebody else how to go about getting it because we still working at trying to get that connection with another person, that perfect connection with another person, to whereas you have that forever after love. And so we can't advise somebody else on how to find it because we haven't figured it out ourselves. So again, a child like me was left open to predators, and I have to learn how to live past that. By the time I got a certain age, I wanted to smoke cigarettes like my mom, and smoke pot as well, or whatever you want to call it, smoke a blunt, just kind of to numb myself for all the weight that the world puts on you. And the weight of disappointment in myself because I didn't get as far as I thought I should have been by that age. Just messed up in the head because you're asking from yourself something that you really just didn't. I mean, you don't even have the foundation to create what you're trying to do. I mean, I want to be like the next Whitney Houston and don't have a Whitney Houston voice. So there's going to be a problem with being able to do those type of things. You got to be able to sing if you're going to be the next Whitney Houston. And yeah, I can sing, but I sing fairly average. So in other words, I should be a background singer, not, out there. But, we dream. And there are times when you do have to come down to reality, though. And the reality hit me so hard in the stomach that when I came down, I had to numb myself because then I'm like, well, what do I do? Who am I supposed to be now? Because I didn't need an education to be the next Whitney Houston. I mean, you don't have to know what's 2 times 2 to be able to just say, I love you, Lord, or something. But, so the reset went from resetting for, like a few weeks or a few months to years. And time is steady going by and I'm steady numbing myself. Steady getting into relationships that just didn't pan out because I was going in it looking for something that person could never give me. It was at the time when homosexuality became more prominent. Whereas we knew it was there, but, it wasn't out there. It was like on the down low. So if somebody was that way or felt like, I want to be with someone who's the same sex as I, then, they kept it so secretive no one knew. We just all assumed that each other were, if you're a female, you're attracted to a male. If you're a male, then you're attracted to a female, and that's just how it was. It was too taboo to speak anything else. Not hating on those people, because I feel like I had that situation to where I thought that's what I wanted to do. But me personally, I just really felt like it was because I was so desperate to find that love. I wasn't finding it in a man, so I figured I'd find it in a woman. But now I believe that it's just confusion. It's just absolute true confusion. Once you step out there and go for it to do it, those that are doing it will probably, and I would like to know, still admit that, you're not getting it from them either. I believe that, as I got further on and I recognized or I became introduced to Jesus Christ, and of course, originally when I was a young kid or whatever, you have churches come through there and you know about Jesus, but, I think a lot of times when we went to church, it was just so we can get to like the free candy that a church would give you. but weren't really serious about Jesus. There were Jehovah Witnesses coming and knocking on my door, which I would be very rude and mean, just downright hateful. Don't come knock on my door when I'm trying to get my buzz on, and here you are talking about Jesus. It just really made me want to snatch a knot in them. But there came a time in my life when I had done all. I've messed my body up so bad, and I said all, and I loved all. And there was nothing in any of them. And I was just so depressed or just so down because I'm like, well, where do I turn now? So it's a funny story that's connected to this. And if you'll come back with me, because I'm going to post this little snippet, but when I come back, I'm going to have that story for you and I'll let you know really how I came to believe what I do believe now and really what I'm trying to do going forward.